What's going on, everybody? I am solo tonight. So, Friday Night Live. I've got my Ripper on the bench tonight, and I did some work on it the other day, mounting up the new Proline trenchers. And I just need, while I was in there, I kind of noticed that we, like, this car is just, I only ever usually drive it at Axial Fest, and I normally need to get something done to it beforehand, but I only do it a day or so before. So I'm never doing it proper, and it's in the shape right now that is very evident. So my spare doesn't match. I still need to get a matching spare, including the tire, wheel, and the wheel. But let's make sure that everything's working. Yes, no Nicole. It looks like we're out, Nicole. Guess tonight's stream will be family friendly. Ooh, yeah, right. I did make myself some spiced coffee. You know, but that's going to. I would have to have a lot of it, I think, to get anywhere. So it's cold and rainy in California. It's like, well, it was 50 degrees on my way home and raining. So it's the first time it's rained since like March. But every Mike J with his no audio comment, no matter if I read his name and see it or not, it still makes me go, oh crap. So anyway, if you're not familiar with what a Ripper is, let me give you the quick rundown while we're here. This was kind of a special project. The whole point was to mill basically an entire car. It takes about 100 pounds of aluminum to make the chassis and body panels. So it was a special thing we did for Axial Fest one year, and then it turned into a whole thing. And it's still kind of a thing, but they are serial numbered. They're rare. You can't buy them. The only ones you can buy are, used or secondhand. So how much mill time is in it? Like around 40 hours of actual time to make everything. The hood itself is like, I think it was like 3 hours or so. It was like an hour and a half to do the top. And then I think the underside was faster because the step over, which is, so like basically if you have a milling bit and you mill a path, the step over is how much you go over each time. So, it varies the amount of overlap you have. Or maybe the step over is the actual amount that it actually crosses over, not the amount you move over. So the amount it overlaps. So either way, I'm not a machinist. I'm going to disassemble a good bit of this Ripper so that I can kind of get to what's going on underneath. Hey, thanks for the donation. Washington County News Station, Utah. Well, that's interesting. I grew up in a Washington County, but not in Utah. In Nebraska. Loving some CNC talk. Well, I know enough to be dangerous. First thoughts on the trenchers. You know what? I like them. I like them a lot more in person than I did in the first pictures. I thought the first pictures, they looked way less scale. When you actually have them in hand, they have some realistic style and pattern to them. So I'm totally on board. How thick are those panels? It kind of depends because there's certain areas where there's, like bosses that are milled in. But overall, I'd say it's probably around 25 thou. Maybe 30 thou. Let's see. 26 thou is what this hood measures at the cowl. 27 in area. So yeah, somewhere right in there. I don't have a mic, so I can't get a super accurate reading. Hey, thank you, Dale C, for the donation. Dale C says, "You get that shirt yet?" Not yet. We have not. I'll keep an eye out though. Oh, and here's $5. I'll DM you my address. You can send me that ripper. Yeah. All the donations are going into a raffle. If we make $10,000, we'll raffle. Tim from Portland. What's going on? Thanks everybody for joining. Like I said, I know tonight is actually going to have to be RC talk since, well, as much as I can stay on topic, but I don't know if anybody else is, but I'm excited to watch the Cletus McFarland pay-per-view tomorrow for 2.4 hours of Le Mullets. Bunch of my favorite YouTubers all racing. I'm pumped. I will be sitting here at this desk bench, working on something RC and watching me some mullets racing. Where's the bomber running video at? It is not in existence yet. Hell yeah, brother. I'm going to a swap meet tomorrow. Oh, what's the best way to sell my RC stuff? Best, if you're going to a swap, make sure it's cleaned up, presented well on the table. Don't put a bunch of stuff around it. You know, I guess putting a price right on it is a good way to start. I don't normally do that, but you know, I'm not blind to the fact that it is a little bit easier for me to sell stuff. And I appreciate that because, you know, obviously all of you guys are watching, but duh. RC talk on an RC channel? This is insane. I know. Amazing. Now, I do have a full new set of panels for this car. They're actually a blem set of panels from the production cars. It's great, like, you can actually see all of the dents and all of that in these panels as you catch the light. Like, you can see like these panels dent just like the real thing. I mean, you can see the back corners all crunched. Like, it's so cool about these cars. Hey, Mark Cargill, appreciate it. Where's Nicole? I was hoping for a $5 slap. You guys will have to go to the bubbly fund. Thank you. Tonight it is coffee. I have a full mug of coffee and additives. So Alex Bowman had his drift Corvette loaded up for the Freedom Factory. I'm guessing he'll do some drifting after him and Cletus win. I mean, you got a NASCAR driver on your team. Like, you do have a pretty good chance of winning a circle track race. So, you know what? I'm not mad at Cletus at all for trying to win his own events. I like that they wired up the NOS switch on each. Yeah, so any of you guys who don't know what at all we're talking about, Cletus McFarland's an automotive YouTuber. He bought a defunct racetrack down in Florida where he's at, and he's turned it into a crazy deal. He organized a race where there's 27 teams of 2 people, and they're racing Crown Vics around this on-road oval track. Come on. Little Irish coffee, little bit. Except I didn't have any Baileys, so it's spiced rum or whatever Fireball is. A little bit of Fireball. All right, let's just take the roof out of this. So I'm going to, my kind of goal for this, after staring at it the last time I had it open, was I just like the wiring on this thing is so nasty, such a mess, and been hodgepodged. Like, it needs some actual attention to cleaning it up and getting it looking halfway decent. And I really needed to change out the rear light bar. The rear light bar was the very first I made when I designed the Ripper cage, and Jim did most of the body panel work. And when I did it, I was like, I'm gonna put a light bar in the rear and just make myself a custom red LED light bar. And then we ended up making them to include with the kits, but mine is some cheap LED strip we got off Amazon at the time, and it's like yellowed, all nasty. Ugh. So there's the roof section of it. We'll set that aside, but figure if I do this, it'll give me a chance to get inside here a little bit easier. Do you ever wash RC parts in a dishwasher? I do not. That is one line I do not cross. Grand haulers are finally back. Got one on Amazon yesterday. Damn it. I wanted the grand hauler. That's okay. The king hauler is going to be a fun build. I already got my stretched frame rails. It's okay. What is your toolkit? I use the Vanquish tools. Vanquish tools, bearing on the cap. There you go. This blurry stream is annoying even after closing YouTube and restart. I don't know. It's not blurry on this end. You guys will have to confirm if something else is going on. Washing parts in a dishwasher sounds like a way to ruin a dishwasher or get oiled down your sewage line. You know, Nicole bought a new handheld steam cleaner. I'm thinking that will come in handy. Yeah, Nicole would not be pleased if I was washing RC parts in the dishwasher. She doesn't really care what I do until it starts encroaching on her, her shop. So, this is why I'm talking about, like, that wiring is just unacceptable. Also, where's that? This is a battery tray that I designed and had bent up. And I had included it with most, like the last half of the rippers that were production ran. But I never ended up putting one in mine. So I took the 3D printed one out when I put the trenchers on and cleaned this thing up a little bit. But I was just like, I still need to put my battery tray on. And I had it. I just needed to do it. And so my... I do not have... I designed you see that fan in the radiator there? It's actually a functional fan, or it can be. However, mine is not. I guess at some point I decided that it wasn't. I was probably rewiring something for an event and needed to do something, and then didn't feel like hooking up the wires for the fan and just decided to not hook it up. So now I do not have a 40 millimeter fan available at the moment. I guess I kind of forgot that I must have done that. So I'm going to just clip that even a little bit shorter so that I don't have the pigtail. Let's see. There. Can't really get to it very well. Come on. Did I clip it? Nope. I clipped half of it. Got it. See, we're already cleaning it up. Just clip those wires off that you're not really using. Those don't seem important. All right. So we've got that. That's the servo lead going all the way around. Oh, soldered into the leads on the RX4. I could have, but it was already only this long. And honestly, and actually in this one, I have a Castle Mamba X, which I have rear mounted. I remember I did that before, like Axial Fest, and in a year, I guess it would have been 18. But, Sometimes I just always am working on this thing when I've put it off until the last minute. And that is always Axial Fest. Let's see. Oh, I remember in Axial Fest 2018, I was running see that? I was running a Dead Man switch, and it was getting, it was like one of his first versions of the Dead Man switch. And is this one on it too, or not? Is it only the black? I guess it was only the black. Oof, this is so far long overdue. Let's pull the whole transmission out. That sounds like a better idea. Just go ahead and gut this car. So, I saw a couple of people. I'm surprised it's not an orange Kate. I mean, when we first finished these, like for one, we were building 3 of them for Axial Fest in 2017, I believe. And it was like last minute to get everything done as it was. So let's just clip everything. Let's cut these motor wires off. I feel like this whole thing deserves some realistic attention. That. Clip all of these zip ties. But like I was saying, it was last minute, so the color choice was just they were all the same. Clear cage, black panels. Done and done. On to the next task that's not completed yet. Man, I sure wasn't shy with the zip ties. Just cut all the wires. Go crazy. Oh, and we have a dig servo. Get that undone. Some tape. Wow, I have way too nice of a servo on the dig. Huh. BLS 471 SV. I don't even know what that servo is. Huh. This transmission though, it's all raw, but this is the this was the prototype of the V2 dig. When we updated the dig to the bearing supported rear shaft and all that, that was the one. Because I'd put a dig in this, the old style, and was running it pretty hard on brushless and ended up seizing a rear output. And we're just like, we've got to get this updated. If we're going to re-release the dig, we've got to update it to a new standard. And there you go. That's what happened. Dale C. At this rate, I hope you didn't plan running that in January 2021. Hey, Nicole isn't here. We could make actual progress through something. We've got all that removed. That's undone. I don't really remember. How did I have this thing? I remember this ESC mount I came up with was buried in some sort of interesting way. And I see that there, but I don't remember how I got it in there. Because right now, I can't see any screws except the ones that are underneath the ESC. Like I built it around the cage. What's wrong with me? Despite all my rage, I'm still just wires in a cage. Well played, Jesse Schultz. So, yeah, I can't even figure out how to get the ESC out, and I think I'm going to have this thing completely finished and wired. Printing a lawnmower as we speak. Nice. You know what? I was actually kind of pleased with our little lawnmower project. Ridiculous, but fun. But fun. Demonetized. Can someone gather the route my wires decently? Nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the rear cage bits while I'm at it. Oof. Oh no, that's all the same. I thought I had a mix of stainless and steel hardware for my shock mounting, but it's all steel, which is good. That is a cool rock crawler. Thank you. I agree. I think that is an astute observation. My plan is I'm going to pull 4 more screws and pull out this rear portion of the cage. Wiring is nutty as a... Where did that go? Wiring is nutty as a squirrel's treasure chest. Oh, that's an inch. I've never heard it put that way. For nuttier than a squirrel turd, but that's... How is the 50,000 truck coming along? Pretty good. It is, I've got some of the other little stuff done behind, but everything will be here to Eric to be painted. And there we go. Haha. Rear section of the cage is out. This is the spare tire mount. Like I said, I'm still missing the matching spare tire, spare wheel setup. Okay, now does the ESC just slide out? No. How the hell did I attach this thing? Is it double-sided taped? It must be, because it's moving with force. Yes. $5,000 truck, 50,000 giveaway truck. It will be a worthwhile thing. Here's my plan. I'm gonna finish it, and then we're gonna pick the winner, and then what I'm gonna try and do is just buy it from them. Like, how about I just send you some cash? Because I kind of want this truck still. How would you just like some cash in your PayPal instead? So. I don't think that I'm going to reuse this. I'm not going to throw it away yet because yeah, Nicole would love that. Right. I know. What would she rather have? Me have another truck or us have less money? Wait, it's the same thing. We would have both. I would have another truck and less money. All of her worst nightmares. So, oof. Tim, he says you lost your interest. I don't know about that. I'll have to look because it keeps track of all that stuff. Sometimes it just goes away, like what it shows on your computer, but doesn't mean that they're gone. So, it could be the case. You can message me and I can look it up on the website. Okay. Pull that. That's hardwired. Oh, these are. There we go. Yeah. So. Well, we've made progress. There's. The wiring looks better. Josh, do you technically only own one ripper? Yes, I only own one ripper. I have never tried to acquire a second. I've always just kind of, I think it's more fun to see everyone else have them personally. I don't know. I don't know that that's, I don't know. I think they're super cool. But mainly I like the fact that everyone likes them and they're kind of like some sort of weird trading card. That's my favorite part about it. What is my favorite 2.2 tire? Hyrax. It's really the only 2.2 tire I own, I guess. Oh no, I have a 2.2 on that RC Speedy Capra that I'm super pleased with. Okay, so I have this little goober thing, and that is a Hey OK 3-position switch. So that. What exactly are you going to do with this truck? I'm just cleaning it up and rewiring it is my goal, and then it will go back on my shelf. You know, because truck's on your shelf, so it'll all be done really well. But no, the plan is I do want to go run it because I've got the new Proline trenchers on there, and I want to go give those things go give them a run. Are you going to put Capra portals and TGA trims on this? No, I am not. This truck was designed around the SCX-10 axles. This set of F9 axles is one of the very, let's see, would this be these are either the first production axles or the like one, I don't know, they're either prototypes or the very earliest of production axles. Because when we released the Ripper, we also released the F9 axle housings. So we kind of debuted that all at once. So that was fun. And but it was kind of cool because it was the first time anybody saw these, and that's so it makes that fun. Matt, you have no audio. Is Matt here? No, Nicole. Good night. Psh. Thank you very much. So there's little things like that about this truck that, you know, everything surrounding this truck I think is fun and special, but those things especially are fun for me. So there's a lot going on in here, and that's why this is a rat's nest. But we will overcome. We will figure out where to go, what to do. Let's cut some more wires though, right? Let's cut that. Let's just cut these ESC wires at least even. There we go. Haha, ESC is free. Matt has a Ripper. Yes, Matt does. Matt, do you have a production Ripper? Or do you have a prototype? You have a production Ripper. You have a low number though too as well, right? Other than the let's see, the ones that we did to like technical partners, I think Matt was one of the only people that got like a media version of the Ripper, because Matt's special like that. So this is that battery tray that I designed. I did this in SolidWorks, which is what I did this cage in, but I did this as a sheet metal part. So it's all just laid flat, and then I designed it to all bend around, and it just drops right in between these A-pillar mounts and that upper part, and it just fits perfect. Impresses me every time. Just how good I am at hit the like button for those good jokes. If you ever get tired of that Ripper, you could just send it to me. Oh, Matt, yeah. Let's see. Right I need some button head screws to attach said new battery tray, which I am getting kind of low on. Such a humble brag. Yeah, right? Real subtle like. Josh, what is your serial number on yours? We've always called mine P2 for prototype number 2. Out of the prototypes, there was supposed to be 9. One of them got scrapped, so there was 8. Jim, Ripper Machinist, thus the name, got number 1. I have number 2. Casey Curry got number 3. I guess Casey Curry would be the only other. Well, he was Curry, for Curry. Number 4 was actual Curry Enterprises, John, one of the original founders, owners. Then number 5 went to KMC Wheels, David at KMC Wheels. 6 went to David Castillo, who used to work at Curry Enterprises. Number 7 went to Taylor Anderson, who was the founder of Rigid Enterprises, the lighting company. Number 8 ended up with one of our, one of like the shop guy employees, Bob Tarvin. Let's see. So yeah, that was where all the prototypes went. All these are cap head. You need button head. Let's see if these are long enough. Too long. Bob used to work at Vanquish. Bob still does. Bob like doesn't work there every day, but he does work for us and he comes in often. So yeah, Bob's an employee, kind of like a, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not like a, kind of like contractor, seems like. So there we go. So I've got my hardware here. When I need more hardware for home, I make up these little bags for myself. So like we have bulk hardware at the office because that's like we go through so many screws. So when I need them, I like make these up, and this is flathead, button head, socket head of one size. So these look like 12s. So then I can refill my bins. Because this bin is 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, but I mix in button, socket, and flathead into that thing because it's so small that it's not really a big issue. Josh goes around the shop and picks up all the screws. No, I'm actually pretty bad at, like, once I, well, and they're stainless, so also hard. But my refills are a little easier. There's nothing nicer than using all new hardware. Josh doesn't clean. Come on, that is true. Not what you would find in the strengths column on my resume. Let's see. We might need to drop the wash. I might have needed a 14 mil. Let's see. Instead of stepping on a Lego, Josh would step on a screw. It's right at the nylock, like He has a cardboard. He has a cardboard boy for that stuff. Yes. I had quite the load of cardboard this week. So since I'm right at the nylock, I can't tell if it's touching, but it's like right there at the almost quote unquote the perfect length. I am going to remove the washer and add a small amount of Loctite. Yeah. Nicole is out on the couch right now. We've both just been like, again, freaking allergies, man. But the Sucky is always glued to Nicole. She is such a, like, she always has to be within her sight. All right. Will be nice to get this battery tray in there finally. The one previously that was in there was just, it was a multi-piece 3D printed thing because I had designed it for just for myself when I had initially done the Ripper, since it wasn't going to be a production thing really. But then once we decided to make them for people, it kind of needed a solution. I was like, oh, I guess we'll just use what I had. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Actually, I'm going to undo that. You know, Josh, if you move the whole factory to Arizona, you won't have to worry about those allergies. Hey, you know, isn't that what Arizona wants? Aren't they right now petitioning? Just they want more Californians to move into the state. I think every state, that's their goal. Please, more Californians move out of California into our states. I'm not claiming, I still don't claim California. I'm from Missouri. Let's put a couple screws in from the bottom into that battery plate first so it centers itself better. You should do a template of this cage so we can make an off-brand Ripper. No. You know, like we would do that, or I would do that, and then we'd see a China. I'm surprised we haven't seen a China copy of the Ripper yet, honestly. One, how did I get into RC? I mean, I just kind of, I was like 20 years old or 21, and I just wanted an RC car that was a hobby grade. And then it was just one of those things that I got into it, and I got into RC crawling at its infancy in about 2004. And it just, everything about it was what I enjoyed. The engineering side, the whole deal. So it just hooked me. It was a lot. I was into motorcycles at the time. I had a custom Harley that I had built, and it was a lot cheaper to build RC cars that I was happy with than it was to build more motorcycles. Do you do any airplanes? I've got a couple of like Delta Wing style stuff, but mainly for FPV. I would like to do more of it because I really enjoy FPV flying. Not so much the quads, but more the planes. I just like that floating around, soaring type stuff. I was born in 2001. I graduated high school in 2001. My graduating class had 39 kids in it. Hi, Josh. Want to say, love your metalwork and welding, and especially your finished products or product like this ripper. What, how, who, where, when can I purchase a ripper? I need one. Yeah. They pop up for sale every once in a while, but you usually got to be either quick or willing to overspend. Usually, I mean, no matter what, they're always going to be expensive. Normally, when these cars pop up, they usually sell for like between $6,000 and $7,000+ as a complete truck. So the values just kept going up on them. When they were originally sold, what you got with a ripper was you got the metal cage, you got the body panels, and then you got like the link set, the lights, the Q series. There's a front light bar and a rear light bar. And you got a front bumper, a rear sway bar, and the hardware and things like that that you need. Beyond that, you needed to provide your own SCX-10-2 chassis, axles, shocks, all that type of stuff. So, if you're actually looking for one for sale, I know someone who right now who's thinking about selling one. And he's in this stream at sometimes. I haven't seen if he's here tonight, but we'll see. So, Jesse Schultz, dang youngins, get off my lawn. Ooh, Matlock. So I think my servo wire, at least in the front portion, is in an okay location. Oh, I'm so happy to finally have that nicer battery tray in there. This car is 3.5 years old, and I just have never, I probably did this battery tray 2+ years ago, and I just never did it, never touched it. Josh, would that be Mr. Schultz? John Roberts, remember the Cox shriek? I must be talking about the little motors. Okay, who here was born before 1970? Mike J's. Oh, I should. Sorry, I didn't really set up my chat how I normally do. I need to duplicate, and then I can. Oops. There we go. Now it's a little bit easier for me to read. 78, 66, 63, 95, 66, 92, 61, 1940. Bill Jerris. I know Bill. 1954. It's 82. Jesse, you're only a year older than me. I was born in 83. How much were the rippers new? The rippers new for that package that I talked about was $1,899 at the time. $1,899. And man, people thought that was insane. Mike Quinn. I know a Mike Quinn in Kansas City. People just thought that was an absolutely absurd amount of money at the time. We're just like, the amount of time that if we took the same amount of time that these took and made other products during that time, it would have been much more. But we were just like, this is as much as we can put on this thing. We're just like, we thought we were going to sell 20, 30 maybe. And we had to just shut it off. And we're like, okay, we're not making any more. I know people want them, we're not making them. They freaked out about the price. Now everyone wants one. Exactly. Let's see. Sorry, I missed a question. It flew by. I couldn't read it. Dawson, 99. All right. Still made it. Just squeaked in on the 90s there. You can still say I never understood. People always talk about being a 90s kid or things like that. Like I was born in the early 80s, but I still almost consider myself a 90s kid. Like I grew up in the 90s, it feels like. No likes till Sucky appears. Hit the like. If you're watching this, hit the like button. Just do it. Hit the button. So, clip more of my safety wire. 90s best music and 70s. What? Wow. I will build my own version then. Thank you for the motive. Yeah, it was, these things were, they didn't, it's a very hard, I don't try and rationalize it to people. Like the prices that they fetch now, like that has nothing to do, like nothing to do with us. We just, that is what the market decided. Like we even see those prices and go, that is crazy. But it is what it is. People always yell at us for these prices, like prices people pay. We're like, we don't sell it for that. We sell it for the same price that we always have. Thumbs down and angry face until the Ripper appears. Until the Ripper returns. Okay. Well, I've done all of the easy work. I've literally just stripped stuff out until here. Now I actually have to start doing actual work. Any chance of reproducing them? Absolutely not. I want nothing to do with this project ever again. Like I just want this thing to go away for absolute ever. Not because of like the actual parts and what, just because of the like headaches that surrounded this project. Like it drove me absolutely insane. The amount of time, for that reason, I want this to never return again. You know what? I remember why I didn't put this battery tray in the last time. I have to use a incision slipper eliminator with this transmission to make it fit. And I'm running the standard dual slipper. Do I have one here? Let's see. I just don't know that I do. Oh, Mr. Look how great it fits. I'm just here for the tears. Damn it. That puts me in quite a pickle. Okay, how are we going to fix this? What headaches were there? It was the amount of like the whole thing with the Ripper is it turned into a custom thing. Like everyone got to choose their color, which was never my intention. Like the intention was like it was just gonna be what it is. But like once it started, it was just like Steve, who I work with, was like, yeah, you get to pick. Yeah, I told them they had to pick their color, and I was like, wait, what? No. And then it turned into just this whole thing. And so it's such a slight amount that I need. God damn it, though. I need that slipper eliminator. Do I not have one here at all? Wheels. Hold on. think this is just all wheels. It is. Okay. Bust out the... I know, I just don't want to cut it. How's the Gladiator going? I had the windows tinted today. Again, like I had the front two windows tinted the other day, and it was they were just barely darker than the stock rear tint, and it just it was just a little bit bugging me. So it's a new neighbor we have at the shop, and he just he was just like, all right, just took it back over there, and I was like, you want to tint the rest of the rear ones? Like, yeah, sure. So we did 35/20 in the back, since the factory's about 20, and I did 20 in the front. So now it's a little bit darker in the rear. It looks good. I like it. I like a dark tint. Where's the librarian? She is on the couch. Matt keeps slipper eliminators in reach of his chair. Oh, that's amazing. So, okay. How can I solve this tonight? I can, but I'm just not going to be able to. What do slipper eliminators do? They eliminate the slipper. No, I'm kidding. So on an axial, there's these like slipper pads on each side of the spur gear. The slipper eliminator gets rid of that setup, and you just bolt the spur gear right into it solid. There's no slip ability. But the reason that I need it is because it is also much shorter than this. It doesn't have that spring and nut. It's just a nut. So it makes it lower profile, which is what I need. Well, now oh, wait, maybe I haven't. Ooh, I might have one. Where's my bin? No, not that. Project bins. Damn it. I know I have another project bin here. Vfd Trans. A VFD Trans will not. Oh, it blocks. A VFD Trans won't fit in here, and it needs an offset pumpkin. The whole. Let's see. There's another box of parts in here somewhere. No. Let's see. Dale C. So January just became March? Oh, you're killing me. I'm going to get this thing done. What did I do with that other box of parts? Screw it. I'll take it out of something else. Yeah. I agree. Let's do that. This RC Speedy chassis hasn't made... This will be the first time that this RC Speedy chassis has made me happy by giving me a part that I want. That's what we're going to do. Somebody should clean his room. You're very funny. I knew it. Steal from Peter to pay Paul. Exactly. You know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Now, can I get the transmission out of this chassis without disassembling? Yep. Success. Thank you, RC Speedy. You've been useful for something. You know, you never liked the Speedy anyway. Totally agree. You planning to get a low C LMT? Ah, man. I sat there and waffled back and forth this week whether or not to buy one. I've got other projects. I decided this week that I was not buying one yet because I have too many other projects going. I need to refrain and just get some other stuff done. So I said no for now. In the future, probably so. Until then, though, no. Will VXD front axle sets be coming back in soon? Yes, hopefully by the end of next week. Use the whole transmission. I would, but I've got a dig in that one. So I want to maintain the dig. What's low C LMT cost? Oh God, what was retail? I can buy it through Horizon. Like I have a dealer account on Horizon. It's like a media person can buy at store cost. Is it 600 BF? Big red, big red beer. Yeah. So yeah, $5.99 was for the RTR with the 550 brushless system in it, and $3.99 you can get the roller. So no body, but wheels, tires, no electronics. Kind of cool. All right. So motor plate is off. Ooh, you know what we could do? What is this? 2700 kV Polar Pro. I don't have a good motor plate on this. Putting that in. Should have used the whole transmission and just. Do I have a dig? Have a new dig. I have to open it up either way. No, I don't need to do that. So Josh, can you buy me a TRX6 then? I don't think that's how I said that. Okay. Will the new Vanquish tranny fit the new? Yeah, that doesn't fit. That doesn't work. That's very specifically made for the Vanquish chassis. So, damn it. Okay. I don't know what transmission gears I have in that rip. God damn it, I should have just used this transmission, but whatever. We're just dropping this stuff back in here, so whenever I get back to replacing this, that I actually have the parts. Got it. You hear Holmes has a new ESC coming so that the revolver has less noise. I did. Need to talk to John about that. He's also working on an integrated ESC, kind of like the Hobbywing Fusion, which I'm also a fan of hearing about. Because I liked the Hobbywing Fusion for the convenience factor, just not for the Hobbywing factor as much. How long ago did you get... Oh, wait, so that must be about someone else. Okay. Well, we're just going to set that transmission aside for now. That. Okay. Okay. That's getting set aside. I think these were the screws for that. there's my transmission. So let's... Oh. Okay, this is somewhat of a pain in the ass. I saw Horizon Hobby still had Dancing Riders for sale on the site. They damn well should. Dancing Riders are awesome. A Polar Pro V2 with integrated Mamba X or similar. Yes, please. I agree. That's something like that. Like, give me a... Oh. There could be some cool... I do love the Holmes motors. And motor ESC combo would be pretty sick. So... Didn't see any Dancing Riders, but I did pick up a dual rider. Oh man, it's so much fun. See, Dale C. So he's on it. He's on the train. All right, let's pull off the motor plate. Where are the Vanquish Dancing Rider parts? I know. We thought about it at one point just because I was so enthralled with them, which I still am. But by my better judgment, I decided that we should just stay focused on parts that most people want more. Right, let's pull. I changed every bearing on my Traxxas Summit. What a job. We need Element parts. I know. I wish Element would have done a few things differently. It would have really made a lot of difference in their aftermarket support, but they didn't. And that really hampered some issue, really caused some issues. Okay. So I had a Rock 412 2300 kV in this, and it was always a little slow for me. Granted, 2300 on 4S is okay, but I never really ran 4S in this car because it was kind of, like I said, I haven't ran it for a while, and it just never happened. But now, okay, pull that off, check my dig, still looks good. That's good news. So we're going to pull the front drive shaft out because I don't want to deal with the little set screw on the drive dog. Hey Josh, have you ran the Fat Fox yet? I have not. I finished all the rest of it. It's ready to go and run, but I just haven't made myself go get it scratched up yet. Right. Let's pull the top shaft apart. Check the bearings. These bearings probably have like 3 hours of runtime on them, so I don't know that I'm super worried about getting those changed out. I feel like I rebuilt it every time I ran it. I was like, oh, it's been a year. I should probably rebuild the car. I'm like, wait, I only ran it on at Axial Fest for 4 trails. It probably doesn't need a rebuild after 4 trails. Full race car stuff. Josh needs to make cutting brakes for the Dancing Rider. Oh. Right, yeah. I feel bad for not at least re-greasing the gears. Like I said, this car has no runtime on it since the last one, but still. My birthday was Wednesday. That Ripper would be a great present. Bill, you know what? Really pushing it. Like I said, we're doing This is a raffle tonight. We're gonna raffle off the Ripper. It takes, but it's once we hit $10,000 in donations before it happens. Kidding. This is not a raffle. Do not take my page off YouTube for doing things against the terms and conditions. Lithium grease? No, this is the Vanquish grease. It's a pretty interesting grease. It's very sticky. I like it. Works great. You can use whatever grease you want. I don't try and like push our grease on everybody, but I think it's really good grease. You almost had me there. You know what I should do is put the top shaft in the correct direction so that it points towards the front side of the transmission though. I'm really glad I noticed that before I bolted this whole thing back up. I would have felt like an idiot. That was a close one. Got it. Rookie. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't paying attention. Just bolting stuff together. Man, I've got a raw transmission housing, a raw dig housing, and I'm going to put on a anodized motor plate. Like I should go get a raw one, but come on. Oh, that one. Can't. Line up. There we go. Hey, Scott Oblander, thank you for the donation. It's on. One ticket, please. Spent the afternoon building a twin hammers. I know. Man, yeah. How much hardware did you have to replace? Lots of, yes, need more coffee. There we go. Overdrive portal gears or ring and pinion gears, or overdrive portal gears or ring and pinion. Oh, okay, sorry. God, I don't know why I wasn't putting that all together in a single sentence. Man, so overdrive portal gears are actually usually a good upgrade for strength because it makes the gears a little bit closer in size. So they're a good option. So I don't necessarily shy away from those. Hi Josh, you just joined. What are you doing? I am working on my Ripper. My Ripper is it's just been neglected. It's dirty. The wiring was shit. It was just hastily put back together before events in a hasty manner. And so I've decided to rip all of the wiring out of the center. I replaced the battery tray with a new sheet metal version I made. And now, once I was putting it all back together, I realized that I forgot I needed a slipper eliminator to make it all work. So I had to steal one from another vehicle. None of my VP parts besides rims, clean transmission, blue dig, orange knuckles, gray rims, black ring. Ever see a dirty, bruised up Lambo or Ferrari? That's Josh's Ripper. You know, there's a number of Rippers that have some real good battle scars on them. There we go. Gatekeeper or Capra for a durable rock crawler basher. That's a tough one. The Enduros are nice, but the axles, the ring and pinion gears, not that great. Capper's okay. The gearing just sucks. You got to replace all the, you know, either replace the whole transmission, ideally, in my opinion. So, like, they both have compromises to me. I like the Gatekeeper in its own way. I just don't like it as a comparison against a lot of things. So, yeah, the Capper definitely has more aftermarket support. That is definitely true. So, um, well, the motor wires that are on this will plug directly into the castle, so that saved me a little bit of rewiring. And it's hard to beat how clean Holmes's soldering job is, so that's nice. Or laser nut. God, again, that's just, those are such different cars, I feel, that they're just not great comparisons. It, I don't know. I hate comparisons. Like, I just feel like when you try and stack some of these things up against each other, it's just like, it just depends on every single person wants something different. Oh, we did drop frames for a second, but it's gone. Right. Smooth. Gear mesh is set. Hey Josh, I have a question. I'm going to build a slash 4x4, but I don't know where to start with it. I don't either. I don't really build slashes. That is not my thing. That is not going to be an area where I'm going to be of any assistance. What would you replace the SCX-10 transmission with? Oof. Tony, axles are done. I'm catching you. Tony picked up his ripper today from me from the shop. We had a small number of them left that were just finally getting finished after much lengthening delays, and the fact that I didn't want anything to do with finishing them. But yeah, so the hell was I talking about before that? Oh, replacing the XTX-10 transmission. That is a tough one because it's such an integral part of everything else. It's just like I would replace the SCX-10 transmission with a VS410 Pro, and then just take the body. Yeah, no, I like my SCX-10 in its own way, but for me, like I never find myself wanting to grab my SCX-10 over my Pro or Ultra. And that's the hardest thing for me. You know, and it's like it's not because I'm like, oh, this is what I should be driving to sell. Like I'm just driving stuff to go have fun. And I know I have the most fun when I take my Pro personally. That's what I take to go have the most fun. I think that car is freaking amazing and I love how it drives. And it's one of those things like if you put it in somebody's hand, you're like, here, drive this. It's always a situation where like, okay, I get it. So I'm not a hard salesman. I'm not like you should buy this. Brr. But if you're ever at an event and you want to drive my truck, let me know. You can drive my truck. I don't care. I will let you go take it and run a trail. As long as you don't, look like a shady individual. I mean, come say hi first, at least. Like, uh, don't just like walk up to me like, give me your truck. So, okay. new motor. We've replaced the motor. Didn't plan on that, but we went with the Holmes Hobbies 2700 kV Polar Pro, which I like. We upgraded the motor plate from the stock axial one because that didn't seem appropriate. Top three, Joe's saying, for me is VP Pro, Element Kit, and SCX-103 Gladiator. So I was not shady at Proline by the Fire 19. Did I let you drive my truck there, Joe? I don't know if I knew you very well, did I know? Might not have even. Is that where we first? I can't remember. I think I remember Moose Jaw first popping up after. It would have been after my Crawl Masters build in like January, February of 2019, and then Moose Jaw started building a creep body with like a custom bed and all the nice paint, and you were using my hashtag, and it kept popping up, and I was like, oh, and I kept seeing what you were doing there, and then maybe you came in and said hello. So, but yeah, and now we're friends. Let me take the pic at Crawl Masters. You take a picture. Oh, okay. So yeah. I am more trusting than I should be in some way. So Moose Jaw, you're naturally shady. Updates on the long wheelbase Unimog. It needs to go to a painter. And that I have not done. Okay. Front drive shaft is in and phased. Let's make sure we phase the rear drive shaft. Phased and install. Aha, success. Okay, now we need to flip shit. The shocks aren't installed, so I uninstalled the drive shaft already. There they are. What do I do with those trans? There we go. I was like, well, I left my daughter near the VP booth and I took the truck to another locale. I came back for the kid. See, those are some proper priorities. I would have been like, oh, where'd I leave my truck? Okay. Go. What is the wheelbase of the Ripper? It's a little bit longer than a standard 12.3. I think I pushed the wheelbase forward in the front like 5 millimeters, so it's probably around 12.6 or so. I can measure, but mine is also not necessarily standard because I just kind of like mine's got a mix of stainless and like all my front links are titanium. My rears are all stainless, but it was just because. Stop spamming the chat, kid. Someone take care of that, please. Thank you, Alex. Phillips or Allen for RC. Recently encountered more Phillips than I remembered. Man, I do not remember. I don't remember running into Phillips much other than, well, some G-made kits, and then of course the Tamiya stuff. But if it has Phillips, or more accurate JIS, whatever, I'm gonna be mad. So. Sorry, VFD Trans. VFD Trans does not fit in an SCX-102, which is what this is based on. So no VFD in this one. All right, rear drive shaft reinstalled. But since the suspension's still not hooked up, good chance that it'll come apart. So I've seen Phillips on a rig since Crawler King is. I'm going to zip tie the suspension links to the chassis for now so that I don't lose that. How's the night, Bucksar SeaWorld? It's going pretty well. It's always fun to work on a rig that you didn't spend the proper amount of time on the last time. I am the law. Thank you for your moderation. Moderating in moderation, Alex. Cut those off. All right. So now that rear drive shaft won't come disconnected every time we lift it up. Actually bought a JAS screwdriver the last time I was at the local hobby shop. Made a dual rider so much better. Yeah, I know what you mean. So, all right. New motor is in. New battery tray is in. New top shaft is in. Hey, XXX, $10. Thank you for. Thanks so much for the shit. Yeah. I've already filled it with a bunch of tiny garbage. In all seriousness, you're the best. Hope we can get out and crawl someday. Thank you very much for Mr. Nondescript username. Hey, I'm always. I'll go crawling. Well, whenever I'm available. Anytime. Antioch still a go for tomorrow. Elroy McCoy, it's Sunday. Don't go tomorrow because the race is Sunday, but it is still on. So, I'm still planning on going. I'm going to film mainly. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually enjoying filming the drag racing a little bit. It's a change of pace. Not that I'm getting sick of rock crawling, but I like the filming something different aspect. That's the part that I think is actually pretty fun. Perry G. So is this where we start pushing for Josh to get Alex a discount dancing rider? Again, was that a discussion before? I don't remember that. Ooh, that coffee is making me quite warm. Maybe because of the amount of spicing up that was done. Hey Josh, I want to convert my trucks over to brushless, but I don't know where to start with that either. Do I have a certain batteries for the truck when I do? No, you don't need. If you're running LiPo, that's best because you can get higher discharge rates, things like that. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but also you're not like gonna. You can kind of step into it and be fun. There's if you search Harley Designs and then 1.9 brushless, like in Google, it'll pop up a article that's on my website and my blog, that like my suggested brushless setups that I prefer to run will give you some ideas. And then from there, maybe you have some questions once you've got through that part of it. But you don't have to be that intimidated by it. It's not necessarily something crazy. So it's just nice that it's less maintenance, more power, better run times. I think it changes a lot about it, and that's why I pretty much only run brushless. Why are good crawlers so expensive? Because generally what you're paying for, even if parts look the same, you're looking at a difference in materials or quality. Like there's a big difference there. You can have two parts that look identical and one can be 3 times, 4 times stronger because it was made with better materials or with better tolerances even. Sometimes just the slop that's done in cheap parts can cause shock loading and breakage. So what you're paying for is things that are designed or constructed better. It's not just necessarily this outside appearance. We see pretty decent forces in some of these things, especially if you start looking at other, brushless power, 4S brushless power. If you're drive like an idiot, like I do, we build it to be able to take stupid stuff, and like someone said, because the Vanquish axles are made in the USA. Yeah, like these axles are made in the US, and there is a portion of that that does make them more expensive because we pay employees who are also in the United States and have families, and they have to pay United States prices for groceries and their mortgages. But also we use much better material. The aluminum is better. We spend more time on the machining process, things like that. And some people don't care about that. And that's fine. You can have fun with a plastic axle. You can have fun with a cheap Chinese axle. You can have fun, and having fun is really all that matters. So if that's how you want to have fun, go for it and have fun with us. You'll be fine. But if having fun is not breaking sometimes it's worth spending extra in certain places. Just depends. But no matter what, just have fun. And then, who cares? What did you build your ripper from? Like, what was the frame? The metal part is what the ripper is. That was what this is all machined aluminum. This was machined from huge blocks of aluminum. Each side of the chassis weighed almost 40 pounds when it started. And now it weighs, 6 or 8 ounces. That's why the ripper was so expensive. Do I have any speedboats? I definitely do not have any speedboats. I don't have any boats at all, actually. And every time I think that maybe I'll get another boat, I don't. Use VS410 chassis for the ripper. Doesn't fit. Trust me, I tried. I even cut one up to try and make it fit. Does not fit. So, I literally took a Dremel to a ripper chassis and cut off tabs and things like that were in the way to see if it would fit. I have it at the shop still to make people... Why? It's just the bolt holes aren't the same. This bolts to a SCX10 chassis in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places on each side. So, you get 2 out of 6 holes. Go figure. Vanquish parts don't fit Vanquish parts. It was this. You got to remember, this chassis, this whole ripper project was designed for Axial Fest and to be Axial Fest legal. That was the whole purpose of the project. And at that time, it was only Axial Fest legal if you were running an axial chassis. So that has since changed, and now you could run a VS410 chassis. So if we were doing it today, we would have most definitely done it around a VS410, but we didn't, and I don't want to do it again. So, so, you win some, you lose some. Josh, do you have any experience with RC drift cars? Thinking of making that purchase as a fun thing to do during the winter in our parking garage. Any motor suggestions? I barely have any. I have a Sakura D3. I have the Tuk Tuk right there, which is a freaking blast. And that's a drifting thing. But yeah, I shouldn't be giving suggestions because I really don't know. I don't know. So I would ask somebody who has some experience, because if it was me, I'd be like, I don't know, do you use like a 3500 kV 4-pole? I'd be like, probably not. You should probably just use a 2-pole and probably like a 17 turn. I don't know. I can't remember what I had in my D3. It's like a Speed Passion setup that you could get back in the day. So we need to look. What did I do with my ESC? Aha. Name of the tuk-tuk again. It is a Usakani. Usukani. Usakani. A B. There's that. Let's see. I just want to get all this plugged in and see where I'm going to. Looks like it's going to go on the passenger driver's side, boat side. Yep. What's a tuk-tuk? A tuk-tuk is, I'm going to get it just because I think it's too. This is a tuk-tuk. It is a trike. Steers like a trike. And it's made for drifting. These are actually used overseas as like taxis and things like that. Delivery vehicles, all kinds of things. They even have racing for tuk-tuks. Trust me, I've been sent the tuk-tuk racing video 4 bazillion times by people. Motorized rickshaw. There you go. So, okay. I need to start just nailing some stuff down. So, that's interesting. Son of a... The sensor adapter is missing out of my... out of the Mamba X. I'm wondering if I stole it for another build. Ooh, I think I did. I think the sensor adapter for my Mamba X is in the Forerunner that Ben owns. Yes. Do I have another Mamba X? I do. Okay. So, do I just steal this one or do I got to put a new battery plug on it anyway. Nothing else is special. Yep. Steal one. I'll just throw this one in the drawer and I'll forget that it doesn't have a sensor adapter and I'll cross that bridge another day. Great. You guys can watch me cuss on the next live stream when I forget to buy the replacement. Or I can just buy the Holmes sensor cables that are made for Mamba X's. That's interesting is the scariest thing to hear in any shop. That is so freaking true. Well, that's interesting. Peter getting broke tonight. In the old robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yes, Dean's plug. That is correct. I am aware. But I needed to fix... We'll cut that off now. I'll throw it away. I have a hard time throwing it away still. Like someday I'm going to need a Dean's plug. I'm keeping it. Don't... I know I talk bad about Dean's all the time, but I'm still an RC hoarder. Castle has new cables that eliminate the adapter. Yes, Castle does. And Holmes has had them for like 2 years. So. Damn, I need a shorter sensor cable. This is like a regular length. Do I have more sensor cables? SNL, the church lady. Well, that's interesting. Let's see. I'm out of sensor cables. Dean's for life. No, you got to make the switch to XT60s. Get on that XT60 train. They're so much better. They plug and unplug so much easier. They're so much easier to solder. They flow more current. They're better. And it's a pain to decide to change because we all have cars and we all hate to solder and all that, but it's freaking worth it. Go to XT60. Telling you. Dean's on my 2S trucks and XT's on my 3. What? Why would you have multiples? That is great. What about XT90s? Well, I have XT90s on like my big, like my Arma 6S's and things like that. But those are larger scale. So I don't run XT60s on my Jeep either because that's an even larger scale. Remember when you robbed Peter to pay Paul? That was awesome. Too many of my crawler mates use Dean's plugs for me to change. That's the best part though, Bill. They make these little adapters. So you can keep one of those with you. And if you need it, you can plug it in and then run. Or, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. I like the Traxxas adapters. What? That's the craziest thing I've heard all night. Okay. Can you rob Peter but better? God. So we're gonna go ahead and I should clean this very dirty boat side first. In Australia, it seems to be 50-50 Dean's XT60s. It used to be like 90% Dean's here, but as time has gone, XT60s are making a big dent. I even converted my Super Rock Ray, Roland says. What's going on, Roland? I didn't see you pop in. Do I have alcohol? There. Uncomfortable. I run Tamiya, easy to find for cheap. Tamiya Molex connectors for life. Killing me. I wonder if any of you guys listened to our live stream on Wednesday with Tony from Tamiya. Money shot in the face. Yeah, thanks for that. Nicole isn't here. This is supposed to be family friendly. Oh, I hear Nicole is awake though. Perry G. Tammy, yes. And that's how I remember it now, is by the actual name Tammy. Deans were a revelation when they first came out before it was the Stone Age of Tamiya plugs. I'm telling you, like, after switching to XT60s, it's just so much more enjoyable. Just the soldering of them, how much easier XT60s are. The fact that with an XT60, after you solder it, you can still rotate the wire so that you can get, so you don't ever have those, like that one power wire that's like got a little twist in it, so it always kind of wants to pop sideways. It's like, grr. Here comes the boss. I promise you, she's not coming in. She's just awake now. She had fallen asleep by the time I got home. Telling you, and the fact that I got up, tried to get up early today. We had a shipment coming in today, and I try and make it there to help unload. I'm never on time. By the time I got there, the truck was empty. Big ball of Amazon double-sided, but it is true 3M. See? Scotch brand, so it's the good stuff. It was way bigger. It was like the big old roll. But it's got to be true 3M brand. So let's. There we go. Not losing the spring after 50 battery disconnects with XT6. Exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing. I started making the switch. Tony did basically at the same time. And it was not, with Tony doing it too, since Tony and I are usually the ones out running together. Since both of us were, like, we were pretty much, it was going to be fine. But it just became, it's so much nicer over time. BBT, big black tape. That's industrial 3M tape, none of that hardware store stuff. You gotta have the good double-sided tape. Don't skimp on double-sided tape. Don't get some off-brand. Don't get the white 2-pound mounting tape. Get the good stuff. Heading to KC tomorrow. What's a good hobby shop in the area? Oh, Carl, there's two. If you're on the north side, you go to Hobbytown USA on North Oak. If you're on the south side of town, you go to Hobby Haven. They're both great shops. And either way, tell them I said hello, because I miss the Kansas City hobby shops. All right. So I've got my battery leads that need to go on, but I need to make sure that I don't forget to cut off the switch from the actual ESC and solder that together. I also have to make sure that I get the power feed to the HeyOK installed properly. So we have that. That's the only other, yes, that's the only other exterior item I have to. Bullet connect. Oh, that's racer stuff, right? Well, I guess your name is Race McDonald, so that makes quite the amount of sense. I will not judge you for that. That's even the route I went on my drag car, bullet plugs. First time I've ever done that. I need to really be careful not to screw that up. Just about ready to mount the MS Tech. Oh, I didn't know that you were using a set of MS Tech rails on that one, Tony. That's cool. Let's see. We're going to plug our sensor cable in. Oh, did I miss a donation? Sorry. Nope, never mind. My bad. What is that thing that popped up? Oh, moderator thing. Okay, sorry. Wasn't the whole idea to clean up the wiring? Yes, it was. So this wiring is getting cleaned up. It may look bad right now, but just doing some organizing. So I need some zip ties because I've got some clamp locations. There we go. Never change connectors. I just buy adapters. Just stacking adapters over there. Mike J's got Tamiya connector into Dean's connector. Next is XT6. It's going to be 4 inches long soon. One other thing that I did a little bit different on this build was that I I'm running 2 of the Q series voltage pucks. So my Q series are twice as bright as normal. Pretty cool like that. The only thing I needed to do was I put some PC thermal compound in the housing to transfer heat better from the chip to the housing, so the housing worked as a heat sink. And then just bang. Okay, so just need to make sure we keep some items out of some spur gears and we'll be safe. Come on. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Feeling good. What movie was that from? Trading Places? I'm an electrician. I love zip ties. I should come work to you. I enjoy working on RC cars. Hey, yeah. Pay's not good. I mean, if you're actually working for me in this studio. Oh, come on. There we go. Can you show how you hooked up those lights? Not very well, because it's all like crammed in here now. Okay, I'm unplugging the motor again. It's okay. It's a nice thing about the bullet connectors. Hold please, I am having zip tie difficulties. There we go. Okay, and get this. This wiring is going to come together pretty quickly. I can tell already because it's 7:49 and I haven't resoldered a single wire. How many wires did I cut? How many have I zip tied back in place? Or how many have I soldered back together? Okay. There's that. It's a tough job market over at VP. Josh's cardboard bitch is taken. How's that? And you know what? The kid's good at it. he's going to go far in this world. I can tell you already. Okay. So motor is back plugged in. We'll clean those wires up later. That. This wire definitely seems too long. Josh, what percent of overdrive is the Element Trail Walker? Stock is 6%, comes with the parts to make it about 12%. Yeah, there you go. Don't forget the heat shrink. Good catch. I want to be the Ripper Machinist Scrap Boy. Did the motor wires get plugged into the right spots? I have had a lot of coffee, but A to A. Yep. they are correct. So, got all that. We do have to figure out the receiver location stuff, but we'll get there. But next, my favorite part, cutting more wires. I don't run that little on-off switch. I don't run those on almost anything. So we'll get that cut off and solder the two wires back together. And get that cleaned up. We'll get the soldering iron ready. I'm taking a lot of wire out of this thing already, though. I'm just saying. I mean, wire, motors, all the normal. Do you use dig on your trail crawlers? Yes, this has dig. A lot of my cars. Let's see, which cars have dig in here? Does that car have dig? Can't remember if that one has dig or not. It's my class 2 truck, so maybe I didn't. Maybe I took the dig out. I can't remember. That one has dig. That one does. Doesn't. Green one has dig. That one does not. My Pro does. I run dig in most things. Fat Fox even has dig. Dig is very powerful, and once you get used to running it, it's just like second nature. And when you don't have it, you're just like, ugh, wish I had dig. You shouldn't solder after having this much coffee. Okay. Tuck Tuck has dig, right? How much for that chanted? Very funny, Ruben. I still don't know what that word means in Spanish, but cut the power switch off. We're going to strip some of the wire. Twist it together. Josh, will you be driving the Ultra in the parking lot, engage dig, and just make a left-hand turn? There's always a reason to use dig. Why no switch? It's just another thing to fail. It's another thing to get bumped in the while on the trail. It's the plugging the battery in and out is all you need. Like I don't use switches for anything. I take them off of any ESC that I have that has them. I'm going to get yelled at by all of the teachers in here again for soldering without ventilation, which I still didn't know was a real concern. All right. This soldering iron heats up so quickly, though. It's so you just plug it in, plug it out. For anybody who's never used one of these, it's a TS100. You can get them by like 500 different names on Amazon. But they heat up to full temp in no time. Glasses, damn it. Huh, see, still didn't know. Did you run dig with 2 positions or 3 positions? I set it up with both. Since I drive one-handed, like almost all the time, I set up a 2 position on the grip. Do I have a radio handy? Where's my 4PL? Or 4P, whatever, V. There it is. So I drive like this almost all the time, just one-handed, drive with my thumb. And on this button here on the grip, I run that as a 2 position for dig. So just on off. because then I can just drive all the time. I'm just constantly clicking it on and off while I'm doing something. And then I'll program this one here by my thumb right there to a 3 position. So if I need anything, just hit it. But other than that, I just constantly using it as a 2 position. I use it as a 2 position, like I would say 99% of the time. If I hit my dig, I don't know, 100, I could use my dig 100 times during a trail run. Like I could see that, you know, over a few hours, like I use it constantly. Any tough little thing, turning sharp, like I'll use dig. So, but yeah. And then I always drive one-handed. Well, one, because normally when we're hiking, it's just more comfortable than just always driving like this and just, so yeah. But I can just do that. But the other reason is I film with my other hand. So, because I have a GoPro in one hand and a radio in it. BT, thank you, sir. I'm back, biatches. The power better not go out again. Yes, last time we cut the show short because our powers went. I forgot to pay the bill. Kidding. So, but yeah, normally I film with one hand. So I normally film with the GoPro upside down for the truck because I can get a better angle. I use these rubber tripods. They're flexible. They're pretty comfortable. And it works well. But yeah, I just hold it upside down so I can get lower angles at the truck. And then I flip it over to talk into. The GoPros will, if you start the video with it upside down, it will automatically rotate it for you. But normally it doesn't really matter to me because half the time I'll start it right way up and then drop it. I just change it in post and rotate it. So there you go. That's what I do. Always have a GoPro and radio handy. All right, let me stare at this again for a second. I'm going to miss some comments, but we'll get back there. I need to hook up some wiring. I don't like running the cables all the way up to the battery plug is the problem. I'd rather kind of do them midway. So it's just easier. How it looks is better. You don't have those cables running the whole way. So we're going to do that. It's one of those things that would have been much easier to do outside of the cage. So we're going to make a slit with the X-Acto knife for the sheathing. Make a vertical cut. There we go. Okay, so get my box of heat shrink. And my hey okay is definitely getting a little short on the power leads. So let's tin that lead. Who in the chat has a Traxxas Summit? Put a thumbs up. Who in the chat has a still has an axial product that uses the original AX10 axles? Put a hit the thumbs up on the video if you do. I'm just kidding. You can just say. I'm not trying to just bait you for likes. I want you to like me for who I am. that shut off. There we go. Okay. So let's tin this one. Yeah. I have an AX10 ART. Oh, the old one. I remember the ARTRs. Let's, why does that keep turning off? Now I'm getting mad. Okay. Because it's too hot. It's at the degrees it says. It knows you weren't wearing PPE. Ooh, burn. Need to get a Weller. I have a solder station. I just like to use this little one because it's so easy and it heats up so quickly. It's mainly out of laziness. I have my solder, but it's just the solder station. You got to get them out, and it's big. And I do like a Weller. Mine's a Heiko, or no, mine's not a Heiko. Track Power. I had a Heiko one, but it was like the blue Heiko one, which like wasn't as good as the other Heikos. Make sure it's not too hot. Where you ever put the heat shrink on when stuff's too hot, it like halfway shrinks before you get it over the things you need it to, and then it doesn't fit, and you got to like try and stretch it with a hex driver. There we go. Okay. Heat shrinks on. Let's just catch some stuff on fire. I like using a lighter for heat shrink better than anything else. Have you ever had heat shrink over heat shrink? Oh, definitely. Is that the same excuse as the water's just cold? Are Proline Power Wagons overdone, or is it just me? I mean, there's a lot of them. They can definitely kind of seem overdone, but they're so fun to build with. That like once you've built with them, you're like, I get why. Why does Josh soldering seem so complicated? Might be the amount. You know, don't question it. Just go with it. You guys aren't here for anything that could be considered an actual skill. Okay. And a mid-wire solder splice, not the standard soldering a battery connector type solder joint. Give me some freaking credit. Okay. Let's try this again. What did BT say? The BT, where's Flying Cars 2? Sadie's Revenge. Oh my God. Yes, and I didn't remember her name either. Who said you gave yourself away? When is your Lloyd coming? You know what? That is one that I have literally zero interest in ever owning. That is the ugliest. I like the full size M 17 whatever, but that Lloyd body is the absolute worst. Okay. Did I tin the black? No, haven't stripped that yet. Josh the chat. Josh and the chat. What do you think of RC4 Drive Baja Claws? I've liked them in the past. I've ran them on builds more than once. Actually, that's not true. I've only ever ran the 2.2 Baja Claws, the TTC ones. Fill me in on what's happening right now. What ESC? This, I am soldering well, I'm running a Mamba X ESC, but I am currently soldering in a Hey OK 2 source, 3 position switch into the power wires of my Mamba X. So that's what's actually happening. But let's hold pleat. I know I get awfully quiet when I'm actually trying to solder. You can tell it's my lack of actual skills with soldering. And maybe my slightly impaired hand-eye coordination at the moment. Got it. Bingo. What is that iron? It is a TS 100. 100. Super compact, super handy. It also comes with an XT60 plug, so you can run it on a 3S or 4S battery in the field. Another bonus. Just blow on it. Josh, do you use dual wall heat shrink? I do not. I use standard ass Amazon multi-box heat shrink. I didn't even know there was such a thing as dual wall. Please educate me on this. I'm gonna adapt mine to Dean's. Perry G. I don't like it now. Fire. Okay. Success. Josh, when you learn that the solder is what transfers the heat, it gets much easier. Some people have trouble figuring that out first. I know. Tin the iron, so you gotta make sure you have heat transfer. Get that. It's mainly I've had too much coffee. I'm a little jittery. Is that the heat shrink with the adhesive inside? Ooh, I hope not. I do not like that. What build series between you and Matt on the LMT or staying away from the LMT? I'm not staying away from it like for any reason like that. I'm just not. I decided not to get one right now because I literally just have too many projects, and I need to focus on getting some of the ones that I have done completed. All right. We can. That's a good bullet connector. I should probably save that. But I think the LMT is badass. Like, By no means would I say I would stay away from it. I think that thing's cool, cool at sick ass. But um, it's just I should really get some and it's not just that, but it's like I have 10 other projects I would love to do. And I don't know that me trying to do the same thing with a monster truck as somebody else is what I need right now. Do I have a Bully 2? I do not. I have a single Bully 2 axle. All right. Where is my... So this was the XT60 that I had on here previously. I cut off the wire. Do I have a male side? Yes. I do like to take a male side plug, even if I'm doing Deans, and just plug them in together. Gives you a little bit more kind of heat sink, so you can not worry about melting any plastic, especially right now when I'm going to try and empty the solder out of the cavity that's on the XT60 and fish out the old solder. So I need a high clearance rear brace. Start printing. Ah, I can print you one of those, Tom. Or Tony, do you have the VS? Don't print one now. Get the VS, or call me later, and we'll grab the VS 410 rear chassis brace, the one from the original Origin. It's perfect. It's a high clearance one, and it's molded, so it's better than 3D printed for sure. Tech tip for the night. This is still on? Yes, Matt. We're getting real work done over here. Matt just jumped back on the internet after having his midnight warm milk, putting his sleeping scarf on before going to bed. All right, I think we've got all the wire out of it. So, I don't know why I keep doing that and burning my mat. Let's do it over plastic. So I put a little bit of solder on my soldering iron tip and then heat up the previous solder and wire that's in there. And once it's good and molten, I'm just using a pick and reaching in there and scraping the old wire out. See? Make sure I got everything out of the inside of this one. Okay, we're good. So we're gonna make sure that those cavities are full with just solder. It does not seem to do anything to keep me. What is that? Oh, coffee? Yeah, that's not really what I'm talking about. I made coffee because I was very sleepy. And then I added Fireball to it because it was Friday night. And even though Nicole was abandoning me tonight, I still felt like it was a long week. Matt's probably already got his semi built. Right. You go, Josh. Hey, thanks. We need to get you to 100,000. Yeah. You know, just being in the crawler market, I don't know that that's going to happen. But I branch out to other markets, maybe. But it's really just, I'm pretty happy. I like the growth, but you know, it's not like my job. So much solder fumes. You should really have like ventilation and PPE. Don't do what I'm doing, kids. Do what Travis and them say you're supposed to do. Okay. How is Nicole and the cat? Nicole and I have both been getting our butt kicked by allergies and crap. So she is on the couch. I got home, took some nasal spray, made some coffee, and said that I'm going to power through a live stream. You're in California after all. It can cause cancer. Only if you live here. Let me tell you how much time I have to spend researching Prop 65. RCPC? Are you asking about the RCPC? Oh, what's Matt say? RCPC will push us over the premier case. Yes, the premier case modders. We are now computer people. Send us things. Yes. Matt, for what you don't know, the RCPC, we are building Tamiya semi trucks, and then we're going to build full gaming computers inside of them. But they are also going to look very fancy. Well, mine is going to look fancy inside. Matt's is going to look fancy and well constructed on the outside. So, all right, let's tin our. Okay, one done. This. You guys can barely keep your desktop. My desktop runs extremely smooth. Yours will look like a Coca-Cola truck from the ads. You just wait. These things will become amazing. Okay. Okay, drop frames. Oh, I didn't drop any frames. Streaming PC, not always. I put heat shrink on both of them. Positive and negative. Hot. Still hot. Don't I see? Steve Mort. I didn't forget the heat shrink. No matter my current. I really don't know that I've made any progress other than just taking things apart and putting them back together. But you know, not to say that's not still progress. Do Ryzen. We're not doing Ryzen. We were graciously sponsored by some of the products, so that did dictate some of our choices. Matt and our current builds, both of us have actually 2 Ryzen builds each, but this one is an Intel build. So, but EVGA makes Intel motherboards, so that was what they provided us. Therefore, that is what we're using. Because may come to surprise as many of you, there's not necessarily like a huge use for a full gaming computer inside of an RC semi truck, so sometimes making some compromises there was reasonable. Pi cluster semi. So Matt and I are using the exact same hardware. It was predetermined. Some by a lot of it was provided to us. Some of it we acquired and decided on. It is mini ITX. That is correct. They are mini ITX Z490s or something. Something like that. Love your videos. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Wire the fan. This fan will not be getting wired currently because it needs to be replaced. Right. Cut that off. X5s. Are these X570s? Are you sure? No. H370. So we got that. Okay. So the only thing we haven't solved is that this wire is just way too freaking long. But this strip also needs to be replaced. So I'm not going to worry about that too much until I replace that strip. Because, or I'll do a cut and splice after I get it into the chassis. We'll say that. Wasn't there a beer commercial with a semi rolling in with cold weather following it? Use the dry ice effect. Nice. Right. Have you thought about getting the trailer sides to fold down and on the other side have a keyboard and the other side a tiny projector? Yes, Stephen, I have. The folding part may not 100% happen, but my sides will be kind of removable. Basically what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a full side that's meshed or windowed out kind of. And then there'll be another side that kind of goes over that. And that will be like the exterior side that you'll see. The inside part will be like the framework that holds the PC all together, and everything will mount to it and all this, and let all the RGB flow through it. You can cut it and then solder it. Yes, that's my plan for this one. Since I need to change it out anyway later, I'll just do that for now to get rid of a lot of it. Orange panels this time. I'm actually just going, we're going to put the same panels back on it. They're my original, my OG panels. But I do need to figure out where to put the receiver. Oh, and I need a couple, I don't have the clamping screws in my clamping servo horn on my dig servo. Piano hinge on the sides, figure out a latch. Yeah, like that's not, it's not the actual work of figuring out the hinge. It's more that I like want to be able to just take it off and like display it without it, rather than having it always attached and having to worry about someone breaking it off or things like that. Like, that's more what I'm worried about. More so than the actual engineering feat of figuring out how to do it. The hell was I talking about or doing? When these are done, Rocket League battle, Matt versus Josh. Yes. What kind of soldering wire do you use? Alpha Fry. There you go. Made in Mexico, so you know it's good. 640 or 6040. Could you use perforated metal for the sides? Yes, but what I'm going to do is the actual side panel I'm going to mill on my CNC. And when I say perforate, it's going to have like large slots that are kind of in a different way. And then all of like the mounting positions for a lot of the components are going to have to be done within it. So it's all going to be engineered to bolt together and do, function as the case. So I'm not just using a regular material. I'm going to use something that I'm going to cut out of solid sheet to make exactly what I want. They could show us their rigs, then live stream the game. See, yeah, we do plan to live stream from them after we're completed with it. Just for like a extra. Servo horn clamp screws. Thank you, Neil. This is my M2 hardware box. And it's actually very well labeled with all of the sizes. Mainly because I don't use it very often, so. Mats will run on Steam. Hey, Steam, get it? Like, it's a double thing. For gamers, they'll get it. We vote for whoever wins gets an extra point in Rocket League. Yes. I do like Rocket League. I'm not very good, but I do like playing. Right. Okay. That's done. It's going to be hard for Matt to find a place to mount the hamster wheel that powers his internet. This isn't a challenge, but I like how Josh has already decided how to win. Everything is a competition. I don't remember how I programmed this the first time, so we're just gonna plug shit into some slots. That servo, first ever Futaba servo with a short lead. And this will be my steerings. Oh, I must not have had my auxiliary wire plugged in. Thank you, Dale C. Will the PCRC, same thing, be entered in a class 0 or class 1 crawler comp? I'm leaning more towards class 0. Does the dig go in the trailer? No, the RCPC is what runs the comp. It'll run the spreadsheet for scoring, and then I'll just automatically win by programming it so that I can't lose. That is exactly how. No. We're just gonna tally the scores over here. Looks like Josh wins. I don't know exactly how that happened, but let's just go with it. The trailer is the dig. Okay, so I have to mount my receiver somewhere, and I am running out of space for that. Okay. That. I got some slack. Okay, we're gonna be all right. I got it, I got it. Or do I want to put it up here? Do I have enough slack for that? No, not really. I kind of do. Yep, I'm doing it. Moving on. Just put it on the bottom side of the battery tray. The bottom side is actually like right up against everything. I'm going to put it against the one side because I don't run like full-size stick packs on anything. So it's going to go on the one side of the battery tray. That way it's still accessible too. Will it mount to the back of the new battery tray? No, I'm out of room there. There isn't a lot of room of like the back of it. And where there is, I've ran wires and zip tied them up to it. How's the Mamba mounted? It is mounted with double-sided tape to the boat side on the driver's side. So now I'm just trying to get the backing tape off. This is the worst part of double-sided tape. There we go. Got it. This isn't clean wires. It looks the same. You just wait. I'm telling you that this is cleaner. When you go back and see the replay of this, there's going to be significant improvement. 50 zip ties later, you bite your tongue. And zip ties don't necessarily always mean bad wiring. They often mean bad wiring. Still going to Antioch on Sunday? Yes, I am planning on going to Antioch on Sunday and filming some RC drag racing because that seems to be something I enjoy. Mounting this Q series on with the grill already installed is a total pain in the ass. That is very true. Installing the Q series in the grill at almost any time is a total pain in the ass. I know exactly what you mean. That was one of those things like after the initial design, I was like, wow, that really sucks. That was something that we definitely improved on when we then went to the VS410, the origin body. So no STL Sunday then. Ooh, that's a good point. We'll see. It's hard to say for sure. All right. Motor wires, sensor wire, servo wire, all tightened down. We're going to cut that one out. Once you start getting wires a little closer together, you don't really sometimes you can eliminate more cables or cable ties, zip ties. You know he has additives in his coffee. This is true. Let's see. That. We're in good shape there. Okay. Really only have the rear light bar left. Leave the spice. Leave his spicy coffee alone. Yeah. Is it possible to buy one of the Origin high clearance cross members you mentioned to Tony? Yeah, Chris, on the website you can go and there's man, I can remember the part number is VPS 10110. Let me double check. Hold please, I can confirm. vanquishproducts.com. Go to the desktop site because it shows the part numbers better. Let's see. VS for skid plate, I think it's like skid plate in parts. Yeah, it's this one. Here we go. It's that set, but you can see the one on, what is that, your right, the furthest most right. That one is the perfect, no, sorry, the other side. This one over here is a perfect high clearance cross member. Bolts right into an SCX10 too. By Firemall, you mean fancy hot damn. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Got that. We're in damn good shape. And it's going to be back up and running. When people send you stuff, have you sent it to when people send you stuff, you have it sent to the shop. Yeah, I have everything just sent to the shop. It's the easiest way. It just makes for, you know, since we have deliveries there, then I don't have to give out my home address, things like that. Thought the Ripper was a one-piece chassis. Didn't know it had a roof insert. It's actually, the side pieces are one, and then there's three sections. A center section here, a roof section, and then a rear. Building the Ripper was one of the best RC experiences I've had. Yeah, Matt, I know what you mean. I agree. It's one of those ones that just kind of, things just kind of click as they go together and it's kind of snap. Oh, I should have put that rear cross brace in before that. It'll probably be a little too rigid now to get apart. Yes, it will be. What do I do with my wrench? There it is. I'm pretty sure Josh stopped reading my comments after he says he loves the smell of Proline so much he probably took a bite. I didn't see that comment, but Josh, what were you saying? What were you saying about the battery tray? I don't know what you're referring to, Dale. Josh, how come some of your old live streams, Vanquish, when you bolted something together, it looked like you were undoing the screw? I don't know. I guess I would have to see in the stream what you're... Oh, if it depends on what I was like back in the day, if you were streaming on like a laptop, it would mirror the image. Or a phone, it would mirror the image. So everything was reversed. Like if you ever look at it in my shirt, it might be reversed. So that's the best giveaway. Is if like the text on my shirt is reversed or the text on something. It yeah, it was super annoying when you'd be, but that was before I was so well versed in live streaming technology. But I really enjoy the live stream stuff. It's a whole different thing, but so much fun. Okay. There we go. Ah, the old days, the orange basement. Oh, that was even way before. But yeah, the live stream stuff when I was doing at the Vanquish shop, that was not as long ago, but still a while. That. Replacement parts for the Ripper made for the owners. It's not really ever been something that we've been able to get to like that. Kind of became what it became, and I don't have a good answer for you. Will this one fit, or is it too long? Fit. All right, those are all done. I need these two down here. I only do it one home. What are you guys talking about? Talking about sandwiches? If they made replacement parts, you could build a whole Ripper from scratch. All right. Now let's cut these zip ties here and put the shocks back on. This is why Nicole and the screw licker are necessary for Friday streams. I agree. I enjoy it when she's here as well. I wonder how thin the panels are. The panels and everything are about 25 thou, 28 thou, depending on where. My Ripper is almost done. I have the frame and axles, just need the cage and panels re-released. I would assume you enjoy spending time with your wife. You did marry her. Hey, I married one before that I didn't enjoy spending that much time with. Who's to say I couldn't do it again? No, kidding. You pick way better the second time. In my case. Not saying in everybody's. All right. Yeah. See how much extra cable we have there? That's just unnecessary. Let's cut it. Right there, and we'll just reinstall this and then figure out Be resoldering in a minute. Josh needs to release his hardware kits again. Yeah. Those were pretty good. Sure kept Nicole busy. Nicole counted all of those screws. She was the one who handled all of the hardware. So even back then, she was involved. I disagree. Third time's the charm for me. Nice. Yeah, for those guys that didn't know, the you crazy kids in your marriages. God. Okay, so that's in. Let's cut this there. See, look at all that wire we're removing. Hello from Alaska. Welcome. You can also Cerakote rusted replacement 3D panels for the Ripper. Ah, there you go. Josh, and you learn what not to do. See? Exactly. Going on RC Patina Guy. If you guys haven't already, RC Patina Guy is running an Instagram contest for when he hits 2,000 followers. You should go follow him for a chance to win something pretty nice. Pretty sure it's just RC Patina Guy on Instagram as well, just like his YouTube name. Go click for your chance to win fancy stuff. Or is it RC Patina Guy LLC? Correct me. Put what it is. I'll allow the self-promotion. We don't normally allow that. The moderators are really good about getting that knocked out. Okay. Soldering iron. Plug back in. Insta what? Insta why? Listen, there's lots of reasons to Insta. There's Insta things. Insta. Okay. 2 pieces of heat shrink. And I am installing them onto the wires. On the black, on the red. Did not forget them. Very important. Phoenix needs 500 subscribers, folks. There you go. Instapot. Ooh, Instapots are good. We use the shit out of our Instapot. Okay. One is the loneliest numb. Hope you have that song stuck in your head now. All right. Come on. Come on. Stay on the stupid wire. There you go. Okay. How much is that truck? You can't buy this truck anymore. The only chance you can get of buying these trucks is used, and they usually go for as high as $7,000 or more dollars. They're very rare, very hard to find. Someone banned PFL. Thank you, Alex. All right. Done. 10K on one side. Yes, I have seen that as well. Okay. Oh, Jesse got that one. Ah, I see. I just assumed Jesse was on top of it. Said boom, raced Alex. Now I'm the law. Right. That down. We'll use one more zip tie there. We have minimized the amount of zip ties compared to previously used by a large margin. Large marge. Okay. The heat? Yes. Okay. Couldn't remember if I put heat shrink on both of them or not. I see a lot of different brand XT60 connectors. Which brand is the real one? That's the thing with XT60 connectors is that they're like an open source. They're a standard dimension, and then they're just like everybody make like I haven't ran across any of them that aren't. It's like Dean's plugs were patented, so it was like Dean's the company would go after people, but XT60s just become this open version that people use. And I used to buy ones that were black. They were awesome, and then you stop being able. That's the only problem is you stop being able to find some of them. Then, or at least where I was shopping, I think you can still find the black ones on Amazon, which are nice. All right, so there's that. All right, this thing's done. Told you we'd get it done. So while that may look like a mess on top there, it's not really. It's nice and compact. Just looks like it in that one angle. Other than that, everything's secured out of the way. Nice and low. Got rid of most of our excess. We're set. Plug. I wired the XT60 plug. I think everything's good. I am pleased. Looks so much cleaner now. See? It's that. Interior. Iron is still on. Oh, no, it was off. It timed out. But I did unplug it. But thank you, Robert Johnson. That was very helpful, just in case. All right. Body panels next. Do you have a DMS cutoff on that ripper? I did, but I had the like very first version. That was the magnetic one, and it just got way too hot at the time. And it was like cutting out on me. So I took it out. Then I actually got the updated version that uses like the actual XT60 in it, but I didn't install it in this. I just got it all. I just cleaned it all up and made it simple. Are you going to watch Cletus? Yes, I have bought my pay-per-view ticket. I'll bet it's a bomber interior. Of course it's a bomber interior. I designed this literally around a bomber interior. Like that was one of the first pieces I used to determine the size of this cage in CAD. So yes, the Ripper was literally designed around a bomber interior. What's that? Battery with the dash and the you just pull you pull 4 screws. You have to pull the hood off, and then the battery just drops in. So it's kind of a pain that you have to pull a hood to get to it, but since it's all just you know, M3 screws into aluminum, it just spins right out, spins right in. It's actually pretty easy. And so like I said, this really wasn't designed to be a production thing. It was just designed to be kind of fun and custom at the time. Quick changing must take a while that you don't do it on the trail. No, I do it on the trail all the time. Because I don't run very big batteries. So like I'm always changing like I have to change batteries every like 45 minutes or something like that. So. But I'll show you how to getting into the battery. Because I'll pull the hood back off for a second. .3D print an easier way, like a hinge and pins make it close the bot. You don't really need it. It's just not that hard. It's just, I mean, for one, the body screws are like perfectly flushed in, so they look great. 3D printed stuff would just look kind of hokey. And all the mounts are perfectly machined underneath. It's, anyway. So if you're on the trail, you just pull the screws, it lifts off, and then the battery just drops in. Just drop it in, and then just put the hood back on. It's like crazy easy. Since yours is prototype 2, would you think it would sell for more? If I sold it, yeah. I mean, if somebody offered me $10,000 for it today, I wouldn't sell it. There's definitely a number somewhere, but it's not 10,000. So, see, it's just not that hard to get to the battery. Everything fits. Ever thought about doing a magnetic mount? Nope. Again, like the bosses for these, they perfectly sit down on the base. It's like I said, it's literally just easy and quick that like it does not bother me in the slightest. Nicole would sell it. You're right. Nicole would sell it for much cheaper. Somebody literally offered me $15,000. I would have a really hard time not taking that. I'll trade you a litter robot for it. Boom. We disassembled this truck, completely rewired it. Outfitted the new battery tray, changed the top shaft and the transmission. You see how productive we are when Nicole's not here? I'm kidding. I would much rather have her here and get a quarter of as much done, if even. let's see how much left I have of cleanup. So, okay. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup, and then we're just going to chat until it is 9:02. This is a 3-hour stream. I just bought a 2010 GMC 4x4 for $15K. That's crazy. I agree. It is crazy. So this was a 3-hour tour. 3. Yeah. It's amazing how fast you work when you really want to finish. Yeah, the tire on the back. Well, the reason I didn't put the tire on the back is because this is not a matching spare or matching wheel, and I would like to put actual matching on there. I mean, I can install this one. It's just should a local hobby store solder a battery connection on for me? I would think that most would. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've had really good local hobby shops that have always been super helpful, but I know that's not always the case. Where's your fancy tool? Which one are you talking about? Whoop. The tire cross. Come on. My wrench is wedged in it. There we go. Got it. It's not tight enough now. I loosened it slightly. You just don't have a straight shot at this. There you go. Got it. That's better to have it on there at least, even if it's not matching. Let's find all the hardware that I replaced. We'll throw all of it away. I keep old hardware for too long. Like, rather than just throwing it away and using new the next time, I'm just like, ooh, I'm going to use this hardware again. I never do. So, all right, let's do like another 15 minutes of question and answer. Rapid fire. If I see you in Antioch, I'll have a beer for you. Hey, thanks, Larry. Feel free to say hello. Looking forward to it. I have it cleaned up so Sucky doesn't like it. Yeah, no kidding. Oh yeah, so that's the power adapter for when you plug it into the wall. Here is the XT60 connector. You plug this into your battery and then this into here, and then you can solder out in the field with it just heats up crazy fast. You can solder. A 4S battery lasts forever. I mean, so handy. It's perfect for travel. I actually got it like just for traveling, and then I ended up liking it so much on the bench. So I'm just like, I'm just going to use this. It's so much easier than getting my whole freaking solder station out. Doesn't take up as much room on the bench. It's just easier. Is there something metal framed for people who can't afford a ripper? I mean, there's lots of tube chassis that you can get. This one's just, the chassis is one thing, the body panels, like this is all metal too. But yeah, you can learn how to braze your own. I've got videos on how to build a chassis yourself. It maybe cost you $100 in materials and tools even, and you can build yourself a chassis. So just get in there. Phoenix night, guys. Hit the like button on your way out. Right. Does get to the same temp with the battery. So yes, it does get to the same temps. I believe on 4, maybe 3S doesn't go quite as high, but 4S does. I mean, and it heats up, or maybe it does get to both the temps either way, but it just heats up a lot faster on 4S. Either way, these things are worth it all day. What? Nothing for the screw liquor? I know. Whoever disliked, take it back. So how many rippers were made? 9 prototypes, and what number for production models? It was like 140 maybe, or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's something in that 140 range. There's some numbers that were skipped. 150, like I think there was like 140 something actual. Yeah, there's some numbers up to like in the 150s maybe, but there's some blank number areas that were from a number of different reasons. What tires are those? These are the new Proline trenchers. So that's why I wanted to get this thing cleaned up, is so that I could go run these new trenchers. Looking forward to it. Oh, you know what we could do is I could put, I wonder if you can put, wait, what hardware do we have? No, I think it uses 080. Never mind. Trencher review after. Yeah, that's the plan, is to go run these and then do a review on that. You can metal cage anything with enough elbow grease. Exactly. It's like what? Anything's a smoke machine if you use it wrong enough. Colton just joining. It's almost at the end, man. I may pick up a ripper from AJ eventually. Yeah. Well, you better. He's not getting any more. So if he's got it, you got to get it before someone else jumps on it. I'm willing to bet thumbs down is from a gal that was joining hoping Nicole would be here. That's probably true. And rightfully so. I get it. Proline trenchers, yes. What's the iron called? TS 100. Tall Sam 100. No GR8 scale hardware on the ripper. No, I put the black hardware in this one. It's all the black scale hardware. Something different. You know, it's a little subtle. I'm trying to keep the car a little understated. The fans do like Nicole and Sucky more than Josh. I get it. They're better looking. But we had great numbers tonight. You guys were awesome. Thanks for the donations too. The people don't, let's see. Washington County News Station, Dale C., Mark Cargill, John Roberts, Scott Oblander, XXX, BT as well. Dale C. in there a bunch of times. Appreciate it. Maybe the down was one of the guys, the log got you right. Alex and Jesse. Bam. Wish Ben was here. I like Ben. I like Ben too. Love what you do for us grown kids. Hey, you know, thanks for hanging out. Makes my night a little bit more interesting. It's and it even made me more productive, I think, too, because cut your beard like Cletus McFarlane. Just cut out the center, get the pit vipers going. I'm ready to watch tomorrow. What time does the race start? I think is it 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock Pacific time? Can't remember. I gotta go look. I'm gonna be here at the bench watching that for sure. It's almost Mario time again, you know. Mike J, you're onto something there. I should bring the stash back. 5 p.m. Central, so for 2 for you. Thank you, Cameron. Yes, looking. These streams are really more about the RC community. Exactly. So enjoy. It's yeah, you know, honestly, it was like the whole streaming thing. I was setting it up to do it because I really enjoyed doing the streaming thing, and we had been doing it a little bit before. And I had been building this PC and like got it all set up just before like everything went to shit, which was just like the best timing. Matt and I had been talking about wanting to do a live show together. That worked out great. These Friday night things, especially with Nicole joining, was awesome. Um, Sunday is what I mean, like just like it's been great. I really like it. What race is tomorrow? It's Cletus McFarland, 2.4 hours of Le Mullets. Live stream tomorrow while you're watching. Can't unless I was like listening via headphones the whole time, because if I'm like broadcasting his audio at all, I'll get yanked on YouTube. So, you know. Can't you still purchase a custom Ripper wrap for like 250? Oh, just the wrap? You mean like the stickers? I don't know. Those aren't that much. Depends on your butt. Have you ever let your beard go? I have not. I mean, it's been bigger, but I've never like actually had any like real length to it. Hell, you watching Cleat? I'll bring the gumbo and chicken wings. Oh, yes. It's gonna be an epic. I'm so excited. I mean, there's so many of the YouTubers I like watching. The Roadkill guys being on there. It's there's gonna be so many good ones. Gatekeeper, poor man's Ripper. You know, it's a fairly reasonable comparison, really. It's on frame rails. It's a tube chassis on top. It's Ultra 4 inspired. I'd say that's the best comparison I've heard before, Virgil. I think that is very much an accurate A to B. How about Circle Maker under the covers? Oh yeah, Hoonigan will be there. Hertz racing in it. Who's Hurt racing with? Does anybody know? Yeah, it is pay-per-view. So that's the thing. You have to buy. I bought it's $9.99 for the pay-per-view, or $15 day of. So I don't know when day of starts, because it's going to be midnight in some places here soon. When you're going to do a vid on the semi truck, the first video on that will be Wednesday. Yes, Hurt from Hoonigan and Danny Duncan. Ooh, I don't know who Danny Duncan is. Do I? For just getting into printing, the Creality printers are a good start. Absolutely. Get the Ender 3 Pro or whatever, like $250. Pfft, score. Yes, I want to see Cleat pit maneuver Freiberger. Would be hilarious. Yes, Freiberger or Finnegan. One is going to be Hurt here and Ron. Hurt and Ron, you mean? Ronnie, is that who that was? I gotta figure it out. I think it's with Chair Slayer. Oh, that's okay. That's who that. Or is that who Danny Duncan is? I don't know. We'll figure it out. How did the Ripper come? Was it a kit or assembled already? It was a kit, basically. And it when you bought the Ripper from Vanquish, it didn't have axles or the frame rails, any of that. Like, you had to provide all that. It was just the chassis and the body panels, some links and lights, bumper, things like that. Sway bar. So it's already $14.95. It already timed out. So if you're doing it now, you're gonna have to pay $14.95. I got in for $10. The Gatekeeper is still as top heavy as the Sendero. Would take a ton of weight to make it perform. Yeah, I mean, this thing isn't. The Ripper is light because it's all aluminum, but it's going to be heavier than plastic still. So, new windshield versus a 3D printer. Windshield wins. Good call, Mike J. Safety first, then teamwork. I've built a dozen or so printers, and when I don't have space or resources to build my own, I go back to the Crealities. There you go. I've never decided to build one. Hurt is with Rob Chairslayer. That is cool. Danny Duncan and Ronnie Mack are together. Ender 3 Pro, 189 at Micro Center. That's freaking incredible. That seriously is crazy. $189. Telling you, go buy one of those and make some of the 3D prints that I've done on 3D Printing Sunday and sell them for cheap, and you will make your money back. Just go print some and sell them. Do it. Gave you the files. I know it says not to sell them on my Thingiverse. Just do it and say, Josh said. Josh said to do it. How come you don't have a super shafty in your Capra? Don't have super shafty. What do you mean? You mean the transmission? Because I have the Vanquish transmission kit, and it's cheaper, and it's basically the same thing. It's all built. It's got all of our shafts. I've never broke one of our shafts. I've never broke one of our outputs. It's got machine steel gears. Is the 50K truck almost done? Yep. It'll get painted by Suits here shortly. He's moving, but then he'll get that done, and then it's pretty much done. Just a few hours of some cleanup stuff like this, and it'll be ready to go. Local hobby shop will buy them for $10 each, Josh said. Who do I think is going to win the race? Man, it's going to be so hard to guess. I don't know. I'm so excited to find out, though. Like, that's a long time of racing. Those guys are aggressive. Like, I think I'm going to be surprised if more than 5 people finish. Cletus is definitely winning. He won the 500 too. I know, but this is an endurance thing, and I don't know that Cletus has the endurance game in him. I think Cletus has a better chance of going out way too early than he does. Ooh, no, because is it Alex Bowman he's racing with? He's a NASCAR, so actually that puts Alex Bowman's going to go out there, run the first half, and put it out in the lead. And then Cletus is going to get in it, and it's going to be, oh, man. Someone's going to take him out. Someone's going to take out Cletus as soon as he gets in there. Cleater always loads things in his favor. I get it. You know what? He has hustled and built that empire. Like, I didn't really get it at first, but man, I watch every video now. I'm expecting a lot of blown Crown Vics. I think you're right, Alex. I hate Whistling Diesel. I don't really know Whistling Diesel. Does PLA smell like printing in case I ever have extra money? Not to me, but I honestly can't smell very well, and like I'm nose blind to 3D printing smell really. So to me, I'll sit here at this bench and I'm touching my 3D printer right now, and I don't notice it. Had a huge blob form on my Ender 3v2 overnight that broke the hot end. Just replaced that with Micro Swiss, but now the thermistor needs to be replaced too. Still love it. Usually runs 24. Yeah, I mean, I've went to the Micro Swiss tips as well. I run their steel ones just because I've never actually had one go bad, but steel hot ends, like for what they cost, like sure, why not? PLA doesn't smell, ABS does. That's what I've always thought too. I never print ABS though. I'll print PETG, but I have never printed. We just spent big money in Crown Vics. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, what did he say? He did a video the other day, like breaking down the cost. You know, granted, he got tires and nitrous kits for free, but they still had to pay for roll. Like, they had 27 cars and they paid $450 per roll cage. So, like, there's 13 grand in roll cages and then $2,000 a car. So, like, it's like 75 grand and stuff, like 75 grand out of pocket, you know, because he didn't have to pay for tires or he didn't have to pay for tires and nitrous kits, which he factored into that cost that he was talking about when he did it. So I think there's 27 cars, not 23. I wish I bought Chad's Ripper 94 or 96 when all black one. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have sold Rippers. You know, they were selling them for like $3,000 at the time. Like, everybody's just like, God, I can't believe I sold. I know, it just goes up and up. he'll make it back 2 or 3 fold on pay-per-view. I hope he does. I mean, I'm happy to spend the money on the pay-per-view. I didn't buy the 500 one. I watched it later, but I didn't buy it. But this one, I was like, I gotta buy it. I like supporting. I watch the content. I really enjoy the content. I want to support. I've never bought. I need to buy a T-shirt or something like that. Just the amount of stuff he puts out, super entertaining. So I like supporting back. Yes. So anyway, support creators. Like, hey, exactly. Support the creators you like, whatever they're doing. So it's 9:22 here on the west side of the United States, and that's going to do it for this stream. You guys were awesome tonight. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. We got some real work done. I talked a lot. I can feel it, but I drank way too much coffee, and I know that's going to be hard to go to bed. So anyway, again, appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching me get something done. And yeah, hopefully any of you, well, I'll be watching the race tomorrow, probably hanging out at the bench. And then if any of you are in the area, and I'll see you at racing on Sunday. And hey, thank you, Seth's RC Garage, $4.99. Support your creators. Thank you. That'll do it for tonight. Again, thanks. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll see you Sunday. Not 100% sure yet. So, and before I end, Michael 5 and dime. Appreciate it. $10. You guys are awesome. Later.